All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the City of Madeira Beach Code Enforcement Hearing. My name is Bart Valdez. I'm the appointed special magistrate to hear today's cases. I'm a practicing attorney and have been a member of the Florida Bar for over 25 years. I've been appointed to this position in accordance and with the authority set forth in Chapter 162 Florida statutes. It is my role to fairly and objectively review the matters presented. As such, I would like to advise you of certain matters related to today's proceedings. What we'll do this time, since we have a lot of people here, is we're going to go around in just a moment, and if you're here for a particular agenda item, raise your hand. We're going to call you guys first so that the people that are here, their cases will get heard, and go from there. Every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence, arguments, or comments to offer related to the specific case that is being heard. If you wish to speak today, it is necessary that you be sworn in by the city attorney in just a few moments. In all cases, since the city has the burden of proof, the city will present its case first. The respondent or property owner then will be given the opportunity to refute the city's allegations. Formal rules of evidence do not apply to this proceeding. However, I will exert every effort to ensure that fundamental fairness is afforded to all parties. After hearing all relevant evidence, I will issue an order. The order will be reduced to writing, and you'll be provided with a copy by mail. You are advised that I do not have the authority to grant you a variance, building permit, or special exception of any kind. My role is solely to determine whether a city code has been violated and to provide you a reasonable time to correct the violation by whatever means is available to you. Please be advised that you may be subject to a fine and a lien may be recorded on your property if the violation is not corrected by the compliance deadline. If you wish to present any information to me today, it is necessary that you swear or affirm that you will tell the truth. Therefore, the city attorney will now swear in all witnesses. Anybody out there that wants to talk to me today, please rise and raise your right hand.
You swear that the testimony you're about to give today is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. All right.
All right. I'm going to go through the agenda. What I'd like you to do is if you're here for a particular matter, then raise your hand. So the first one is CE 25-18-14225 North Bayshore. Got somebody here for that one? Okay. Next one is CE 26-59-15320 Harbor Drive. Okay. Next one is CE 26-7120 146th Avenue East, number 3. Anybody here for that one? Okay. The next one is CE 25-118, and that's the address is 223 148th Avenue East. Okay. Next one is CE 25-163 for the property at 14076 North Bayshore. The next one is F. Agenda item F, and that's CE 25-186, 600 Flamingo Drive. Okay, I don't see anyone for that one. If you're here for 25-132 at the property located at 13149 3rd Avenue Street East, anybody here for that one? All right, that was been withdrawn from the agenda. The next one is CE 26-22 for the property at 500 Normandy Road. Anybody here? Okay. We've got two on Pelican Lane, case number 26-33, 12971 Pelican Lane. Okay. And CE 26-34, 12959 Pelican Lane. Okay. And then CE 26-45, 14902 North Bayshore. Anybody here on 14902 North Bayshore? Okay. Just in the old business, CE 26-44 for the property located at 13406 Boca Ciega Avenue. Okay, hey guys. All right, 25-137913 Bay Point Drive. All right, 24-254433 Boca Ciega Drive. All right, 25.003 4th Avenue or 4th Street East. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll go to A, B, D, E, H, I, J, and then we'll circle back with the rest. Sound good, Mr. Trask?
Yes, thank you.
All right. First case then is 25-18 over the property located at 14225 North Bayshore Drive. City ready to proceed?
Yes, we are.
Go ahead, Mr. Trask.
All right. I would call Connor Mecco as the city's witness. Connor, if you could please state your occupation and your job responsibilities here at the City of Madeira Beach.
Code compliance specialist, handling code cases for the city.
Are you familiar with this property that's located at 14225 North Bayshore Drive here in Madeira Beach?
Yes.
Is this case before the special magistrate as a proactive case, or was this complaint driven?
I believe this was proactive.
Okay. Who's the owner of this property and how do you know that?
Based on the Pinellas County property appraiser, it's in Anastasios Mijos.
Okay, and when you reviewed the Pinellas County Property Appraiser's Office, did you print the printout and add it into the agenda package as pages 3 through 6?
Correct.
Okay. And who is the listed property owner with the tax collector of Pinellas County, and how do you know that?
Also from the Pinellas County tax collector, Anastasios Mijos, same owner.
Okay, and that's reflected on page 70 of the agenda package?
Correct.
Okay. Now, what was the actual violation on this property?
So this was for maintenance of the exterior, 1469 and 1470 for general maintenance. It was the exterior of the property required maintenance. The exterior needed to be painted or stuccoed, and it had damaged overhangs.
All right. When it was determined that there was a violation, did the city issue a courtesy notice of code violation?
Yes, on February 7th, Grace Mills, the old code compliance officer, sent a courtesy notice.
And what were the code sections that were cited as being in violation?
1469 and 1470.
All right. When the courtesy notice was sent to the property owner, did it attach photographs?
True.
Okay, and can you show the photographs that were attached to the letter?
So it's on page 10. It's this photo of the rear of the building, showing the damaged exterior that required maintenance.
Okay, can you explain by maybe using your cursor or your arrow where the damage is on the property?
So mostly the space around the windows damaged, and then you can also see the roof, like the soffit and fascia of it, also needed it. There's paint needed in multiple areas. The exterior just needed work in a lot of areas around the exterior.
Okay, and the next photograph?
Also the rear just showing more, showing where the exterior is damaged on the property.
Did the property come into compliance after the courtesy letter was sent?
No.
All right, did the city issue a notice of code violation?
Yes, on March 4th, and that's on page 12.
And did that cite the same code violations as the courtesy letter?
Yes, 1469 and 1470.
Did the letter require a compliance date or a follow-up date?
Yes, the follow-up date was March 18th, 2025.
Okay. Did the property come into compliance by that date?
No.
Did the city attach the same photographs to that code violation letter as it did to the courtesy notice?
Correct.
Okay. And how was that letter sent? Was it sent by regular mail, certified mail, or what?
Certified mail, on page 16, you can see the scan of the certified mailing.
Okay, and if you could turn to page 18, does that reflect that the green card was signed by the property owner?
Correct.
All right. So this case was cited back in February and March of 2025. What's the reason why it didn't come before the special magistrate before today?
So this was a case that was previously taken by Grace, who was the old code compliance specialist officer. We're trying to clean up some of the older cases. This was just exterior maintenance, though. Actually, since then, the overhang, so the soffit and fascia, it looks has been improved, so it's no longer the damaged overhang, but the exterior is still in rough shape and still needs to be painted or needs maintenance. We had a window permit. I met with the contractor, Mr. Nickel, about it. And at the time when I took this, the permit was expired. So it seemed as if there hadn't been any activity since it had expired. It just wasn't as life safety oriented as previous cases we've taken, for remodel without permit or rentals.
Okay. All right. So did the city ultimately issued a statement of violation request for hearing, correct?
Correct.
And that's reflected starting at page number 19?
Yes.
Did the city also issue a notice of hearing for today?
Yes, on page 21.
Okay. But the same code violations are still being cited, correct?
Correct.
All right. And how was the statement and the notice of hearing sent to the property owner?
So all of those were sent through certified mail, regular mail, and posted both at the property itself and downstairs at City Hall.
And do you have photographs of the postings?
Correct. Starting on page 26.
Okay, that's the posting of the property, correct?
Correct. And at City Hall is page 27.
And this photograph taken on page 26, does it also reflect additional damage to the property?
Yes, you can see more of the exterior that's requiring maintenance. And I had extra pictures, more updated pictures as well, if you'd like those.
All right, we're going to get to those in a minute then. So as for the affidavit of service that you issued stating how the actual notices were sent, that's in the agenda packet at page 24?
Correct.
All right.
Affidavit of service.
And the photos that you have with you today?
Mm-hmm.
If you could go ahead and distribute a copy to the contractor and the special magistrate, and then I'd like you to explain what the photographs depict.
And while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 3 through
Updated pictures.
27 of the agenda packet.
Thank you.
I think I have to do it, but thank you. Those are yours.
All right, thank you. Yeah. All right, you've handed the special magistrate 3 photographs. It looks like 2 of them were dated July 1st, 2026. When was the third?
It was also taken at the same time. I think the timestamp was just cut off of it.
Okay, can you explain what each one of these photographs depicts then?
Yes. So there is one that shows it's a yellow structure. It's some of the paint just showing exterior damage on it. It's the picture including the fire hydrant or the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
My apologies. Just exterior maintenance. The other 2 just reflect the exterior needing repair, both in the front and the rear. Just showing that the damage that needs to be repaired. And it's updated because this case was from so long ago, just to show that it still needs to be replaced or fixed.
All right, thank you. I tender in the evidence the additional 3 photographs.
All right, go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 2, the 3 photographs Mr. Mecco just testified about.
So what is it going to take for the property owner to bring this property into compliance?
So they need to have a permit issued to repair the exterior. The contractor has already put in an extension for the window permit. He told me that he's waiting to fix the windows before he can repair the rest of the exterior. He can't paint the exterior or do any siding work until the windows are fixed because lintel work was required. But he would need to obtain a building permit or revise his existing permit to include that exterior work.
Okay, and how much time do you think is a reasonable period of time to get the property into compliance?
30 days.
Okay, and if the property is not brought into compliance within those 30 days, what do you think the daily fine should be and why?
$100 a day.
And the reasons why?
It does require maintenance. It has been about over a year at this point that it's required the maintenance. And it's a bad look just sitting there in the current state.
All right, thank you. I have no other questions for Mr. Mecco.
All right, Mr. Nickel, for the record, will you go ahead and introduce yourself and also give me your official relationship to the owner?
Good morning, or I should say good afternoon now. Niall Nickel, I'm a general contractor. and the owner had contracted with me to make these repairs.
All right. Mr. Nickel, I don't know if you've ever been to one of our hearings before. This is your opportunity to cross-examine or ask questions of Mr. Mecco based upon his testimony. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell me anything you want to tell me, show me any pictures, call any witnesses. But do you have any questions for Mr. Mecco?
I don't know if you mind me saying Connor since we're out there. Anyway, Connor, I think I had talked to you about paint that was put on here and the fascia and softening that was repaired. However, in doing the windows and doing other patching, we're tearing all of that up again. Is that correct?
If you need to replace all of that, then you just need to be reflected on.
I understand that, but that was reflected. I'd also, I think, indicated that we had put a coat of paint on. In fact, I showed you they improperly painted it. It's peeling off. So, and I think I had also indicated and was open to our discussions there on site that all of that had been repaired. Subsequent to those repairs, we're tearing everything up again and in process of bringing it to a state not only repaired, but that will tend to last a whole lot longer.
I'm aware that you showed me some painted area that has subsequently started to peel. I don't have any pictures or evidence at any point of the complete exterior being repaired, so it's still the initial case. I do know at some point the soffit and fascia look to be repaired, but I haven't seen anything that proves that the entire exterior was repaired at any time, and we would just need a permit to reflect those repairs.
So is painting permit required there?
So in this, we would need a permit for the exterior to bring all the exterior work to up to code, just clearing the case. In this case, it looks like the property is at grade, so we need to determine if the property needs anything after the storm needs a permit per FEMA guidelines to meet the 50% rule as an at-grade structure. So all repairs post-storm fall under needing a permit in Madeira Beach.
But that's not regarding this particular code case. That is to go to the next step, if you will. In other words, what was cited wouldn't necessarily fall under the post-storm requirement since this was pre-storm, correct? Actually, some of this would have been pre-storm. I withdraw, no problem. So that all being said, I'm happy to make a statement and make myself available to your questioning as well.
All right. Hold on just one second. Mr. Trask, do you have any redirect for Mr. Mecco?
No redirect and no other no questions and no additional testimony from any other witness.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Nickel, this is your opportunity to tell me anything you want to tell me. I'm getting a sense of what's going on here. It sounds like the owner is trying to bring the property into compliance. Sounds like you just need some time. So will you touch on what you're getting ready to do and just explain your case? You can call any witnesses you want. You can show me any pictures, or you can just tell us what's going on.
No, I'd rather just tell you. So we had, and Connor, and I didn't ask Connor directly this, but we had brought into compliance from the initial citation fascia softening and painting that we were made aware of at the time. Literally at the time of the storm, in fact, the window permit was pulled before the storm. We'd started to replace the windows. The window replacement was substandard. We found out that we had lintel problems, so we stepped back in, and we have probably for the last 2.5 months been replacing lintels, and we had a partial inspection there related to the lintel inspection because normally that's beyond the scope of a window permit. And as soon as that's done, we plan on restuccoing the entire building and painting it. However, we have one window remaining that requires a lintel. It's a little bit of an involved process, so it will take us 4 or 5 days to get that completed. And at that point in time, and Connor and I did talk today that it sounds like we could modify the existing window permit and be able to include the stucco version on there. And if that's the case, that will make life easier for all of us. But obviously we are working and anxious to bring it into compliance. We believe that it was in compliance before. I'd had a meeting personally with Grace. I did not keep notes and records of that. But Grace apparently didn't close things out, and Connor had informed me that we didn't have detailed records on that. So, but regardless of what happened in the past, we're active on it and we're trying to get it completed.
Mr. Trask, any questions of Mr. Nickel?
No questions.
Mr. Nickel, the city's asking for 30 days. Can you get it done in 30 days, or do you need a little bit more time to?
I don't believe it's a 30-day project. It's probably not more than a 60-day project, but it is probably more than a 30-day project.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds fair to me. I think I understand what you're asking for there. All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Nickel. I don't think I have any other questions. All right. Are there any members of the public that have knowledge about the alleged code violation at 14225 North Bay Shore Drive that want to come forward, provide any public comment? All right. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Mr. Trask, anything else?
Just ask that you find the violation of sections 14-69 and 14-70 of the city's code. Order the property to come into compliance within 60 days. And if it's not in compliance with that time frame, that a $100 a day fine be established for every day the property remains in violation of the cited code sections.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Trask. Based upon the testimony, it sounds like the owner's taking proactive steps to get this property back. Mr. Nickel, I'll agree with you that 60 days is reasonable. What I'll also say, though, is if you get up against it and you're getting toward that 60-day mark, just ask to be put on the agenda. You can ask for an extension of time from me. It's easier to do that than have a fine accrue and then ask for the fine to be reduced. So if you're coming up against something because of whatever reason, another storm comes through, any reason, and you need more than that 60 days, just ask the city to come back before me. And then we'll hear that. And there's probably 3 or 4 that are on the agenda for today where people are asking for an extension of time. So I've got no problem with that. Also, just make sure that when the work is all completed, even though you may call and get a final inspection and everything like that, just alert the city so that they can go out and do their final review. So they'll give you an affidavit of compliance. As long as you get an affidavit of compliance before the 60-day deadline, then there won't be any fine that accrues on the property. So just make sure, even if you close out the building permits and get a final inspection, that you still deal with Mr. Mecco to come out there and finish the code enforcement proceeding. And that goes for everybody in the room. It's going to be the same story I tell everybody today, but just want to make sure you're aware of that. Also, and I don't know how long this meeting is going to go. Mr. Mecco is probably going to have to testify some more, but after the meeting is done, if he's still here and it's before 5 o'clock, then the city staff is very receptive. So if anybody wants to sit around and talk to the city staff after the meeting, it's fine. Just ask you don't do it during the meeting because it could be distracting. But if you want to talk to city staff after the meeting, hopefully they'll still be here. All right. So the next one that I have, and if you don't, you're free to go. All right. The next one I have is case number 26-59 for the property located at 15320 Harbor Drive. Is the city ready to proceed?
City is ready to proceed, and the city would call Connor Mecco again. So Connor, are you familiar with this property that is located at 15320 Harbor Drive?
Yes.
Okay, and is this a proactive case or complaint driven?
Proactive.
Okay, and who's the owner of this property and how do you know that?
Amy Powell, based on the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, page 28.
Okay, starting at page 28 of the agenda package through page 33, is that correct?
Correct.
And is the owner also reflected on page 34 of the Pinellas County Tax Collector printout?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the actual violation on this property?
This one was 1470 general maintenance. There's a damaged dock on the property.
Okay. And did the city issue a courtesy notice of code violation to let the property know that this violation existed?
Yeah, starting on page 35, we sent a courtesy notice on April 9th of 2026.
And you cited code section, what?
1470, general maintenance.
Did you take photographs or provide photographs and attach them to the courtesy notice?
Yes.
And could you go over those photographs starting on page 37?
Both pictures show the same thing. It's just showing the dock damaged. completely fallen down in some areas.
Okay. All right, after you sent this letter, did the property owner bring the property into compliance?
No.
Did the city issue a notice of code violation?
Yes, on page 38, on April 23rd, a notice of code violation was sent.
And did it cite the same code section?
Yes,
Did it attach the same photograph as a courtesy notice?
correct.
How was this letter sent to the property owner?
Certified mail.
And when it was sent by certified mail, did you make a photocopy of the envelope?
Yes, on page 41, you can see the certified mailing.
Okay, could you turn to page 42, though, and also tell me about that?
Yeah, so on page 42, this shows that it wasn't received and or returned.
Okay, and what's the address that you sent the letter to?
15320 Harbor Drive, the address that we had on the property appraiser.
Okay. Did that letter ask the property owner to bring the property into compliance within a certain date timeframe?
Correct. The follow-up date was May 7th.
Did the property come into compliance?
No,
Is it in compliance as of today?
no.
Did the city issue a statement of violation starting at page 43 of the agenda packet and request a hearing for today?
Yes.
All right. And did the city also issue a notice of hearing for today?
On page 45.
Okay. And how were these two letters or notices sent to the property owner?
So these are sent certified mail, regular mail, and then it's both posted at the property and downstairs at City Hall.
All right. And if you could turn to photographs on pages 49 and 50 and tell me what those are.
49 is the posting at the property, and 50 is the posting at City Hall.
Okay. So when you provided notice to the property owner, did you issue an affidavit of service?
Correct.
And is that starting at page 47 of the agenda packet?
Yes.
What does the property owner need to do to bring the property in compliance?
They would need to get a permit to repair, replace the dock, or remove the dock.
Okay. But in addition to getting the permit, they would have to bring the actual dock into compliance, not just get the permit, correct?
Yes, they'd have to remove the dock or repair it.
Okay. All right. How much time do you think would be a reasonable time to do that?
30 days and $100 a day.
For the fine if it's not in compliance by that time?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions. I would tender in evidence pages 28 through 50 of the agenda packet, ask that they be received.
All right, I'll go ahead and accept as exhibit number 1, pages 28 through 50 of the agenda packet. Hello, ma'am. Are you Ms. Powell?
I am. Good afternoon, guys.
Hello.
And ma'am.
All right. As you saw in the prior hearing, I'm going to give you a chance in just a few minutes to tell me anything you want to tell me. Because this is a quasi-judicial hearing, you get to ask questions or cross-examine Mr. Mecco if you want to ask me questions. You don't have to, but if there are questions you want to ask him, please feel free to ask him. But I am going to give you a full opportunity to tell me anything you want to tell me directly after that.
Okay.
Can we get her name, please?
I'm sorry.
Oh, Amy Powell. Powell.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Powell, just for the record, do you want to ask Mr. Mecco any questions?
I don't have any questions. The challenge is going to be the timing based on the contract. So we have a contract signed for the dock repair. It is not a Madeira challenge with permitting as a county. So they're running an average of 12 weeks.
All right. Hold right there.
Sorry,
Let me
I'm
just see
talking
if there's
too
any.
fast.
Yeah, hold on right real quick. Are there any other witnesses the city wants to call?
No other witnesses.
Okay. All right. Keep telling me. Anything you want to tell me?
I have requested so I was on that dock in March. We are not currently living in the property yet. We actually have an inspection tomorrow. So knock on wood, we would love to be back on that property as well and on that dock. So my dog will give me side eye until it's fixed. But so that being said, I'm sure the storm did some damage to it, but we didn't realize it was an issue. Until it was an issue. So we're out on it, not living in the property, found it, got the stake in the yard. We had already had bids on the dock, and so I did request that they come and they remove the boards, though, not the pilings, but the boards, just so that they don't drift anywhere. They are stationary right now. I'm checking on them on a regular basis, but they say when the barge is in the area, they will remove the actual deck things that could be a hazard to floating. So, things are boards, sorry.
No problem.
So my only challenge there would be the 30 days, based on what Edge has told us it takes time-wise.
Mr. Trask, any questions?
How much time do you think it's going to take overall?
They said 12 weeks. They said they can do it in 3 to 4 days. That's not the challenge, and Madeire's not the challenge. They said the county is the time.
Okay. So basically, you're looking for 3 months instead of 1 month.
Yeah, I mean, that would be what they've told me. If we can do it, if there's a way to do it sooner, trust me, we'd love to have it done.
Okay. No other questions. Thank you.
All right. I don't have any other questions for you, ma'am. I may have some questions for Mr. Mecco to see if his understanding is the same as yours. But just sit tight real quick. Are there any members of the public that have any knowledge of this code enforcement violation that want to come forward? All right, seeing none, we'll close public comment. Mr. Mecco, I've no reason to doubt what Ms. Powell is saying. What's your understanding of the current wait time to get dock permits?
As it pertains to the county, I personally am not sure. I only know our own permitting process, but I am aware that the county does have its own process for docks specifically because I think of water and navigation. But I personally don't know their timeline. If her contractor is giving 12, then they're more qualified on that than I am.
Okay. Mr. Trask, anything else?
No, sir.
All right. I'm inclined to give you the time. How many days do you need? 'Cause I usually do it in days and not weeks. So do you need 90 days? You need 120 days? How much time do you need?
He said 12 weeks. So, if we break that down to, days, 7 times 12, 70, plus you're making me do math here, 84, let's go 90.
Okay. That's fine. What I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and do a $100 a day fine, but after 90 days, you have 90 days to get it done. As you heard me tell the people here before you, if you run into an issue, the 12 weeks turns into 14 weeks and you can't get a permit issued. If something happens, if your contractor is ready to do the work on day number 85 but can't get it done until day 91,
Okay.
come back, talk to the city, come back before me. Once you have that brand new dock with your dog out there, call Mr. Mecco. Have him come
You
out
guys
there
can see me.
have him come out there and
I'm
inspect
very
it.
visible. So, and then, now I let Connor know, so he checks it off as well.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes. Once you have that dock repaired and you've got your new dock out there, just make sure you let the city know so that they can, they do what's called an affidavit of compliance that lets me know that your property was brought into compliance.
Okay.
And that way, and for yourself too, if you ever go to sell the home or anything else, you've got an affidavit of compliance
Saying it's
that you have. So just make sure whenever it's done, even again, if it passes the final inspection of the county, make sure you let Mr. Mecco know that it's done so he can just run over there, and I'm sure he'll get out there right away to make sure that it's done, and then he certifies that it's completed.
Yep, agreed.
All right. That concludes that hearing. All right. C, has anybody come in on case number CE 26-7 for 146th Avenue East? All right, we're going to go down then, and we'll come back to C. We're going to go to agenda item D, which is CE 25-118 for the property located at 223 148th Avenue East. Is the city ready to proceed on this one?
Yeah, but I just want to make sure, this man was not sworn in. He did not stand up, did not raise his right hand, so we need to get him sworn in if I
Okay.
do that.
Go ahead and raise your right hand, sir, and get sworn in, please.
You swear that the testimony you're about to give today is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, the city would call Connor Mecco. Connor, are you familiar with this property that's located at 223 148th Avenue East?
Correct.
And is this case is before the special magistrate as a proactive case, or was it complaint-driven?
I believe this was proactive.
Okay, who's the owner of this property, and how do you know that?
Harry Alchin, and we found that on the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, so page 83, starting on page 83.
Okay, is it also reflected on the printout from the tax collector's website?
Correct.
All right, and is that on starting at page 87 of the agenda packet?
Yes.
What is the actual code violation on this property?
So this one is 8652 when required, so work without a permit.
Okay, did the city issue a courtesy notice of violation to the property owner?
Yes, on page 89, so August 1st of 2025, a courtesy notice was sent.
Okay, and what was the actual violation of the property other than the code section? What needed to be corrected?
A permit was required, after the fact permit was required for work done in the property without a permit post-storm.
All right, does the city have photographs of the work that was done?
Yes, so on page 91, and this was attached to the courtesy letter as well, this was found on a listing website. So these pictures show remodel work done. You can see, baseboard, drywall, cabinets, interior doors in this top photo that all look new. And then obviously in the bottom photo in the bathroom, the vanity.
All right, did this home experience flood damage?
Yes.
Approximately how much water was inside this home?
I believe this one was approximately 3 feet.
Okay. And you said that these photographs were taken off of a listing website?
Correct.
For example, what, Zillow?
Such as Zillow.
All right. When this courtesy notice was sent to the property owner, did you hear from the property owner?
I personally did not hear anything, no.
Okay, did the city issue then a notice of code violation?
Correct. So on page 92, August 18th of 2025, we sent the notice of code violation.
Okay, it's almost a year ago that this was sent. What's the reason for the delay?
So in this case, and I spoke with the property owner earlier today, Mr. Alchin, we actually received a after-the-fact permit from a contractor following the certified being sent. There were issues with the contractor. I don't know if it was miscommunication or not, but since that time, the permit application was locked and voided. They were trying to do private provider for the after-the-fact permit, and it reached a point where we were not receiving follow-up or revisions to that.
So was the permit then canceled, did you say?
Correct, yes.
Did the city, when the city issued then, well, first of all, did the property ever actually come into compliance then?
No, a permit was never issued.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the statement of violation and request for hearing for today. Did the city issue a statement of, well, let me back up. The notice of violation that was it sent by regular mail or certified mail?
On page 95, the certified mailing, it was sent by certified mail.
All right. So then back to the statement of violation and request for hearing. How was that sent to the property owner?
So this, as well as the notice of hearing, were sent certified mail, regular mail, and posted downstairs at City Hall and also posted at the property.
Okay. And those are reflected starting at page 96 of the agenda packet?
Correct.
All right. When the property was posted, was there a photograph taken of the posting?
Yes, so on page 102, that's the posting at the property.
Is the for rent sign for this particular property that we're talking about today?
I believe this is for the property. Yeah, I was unsure of who the sign belonged to, but I believe it is, yes.
Okay, you have a photograph of the posting at City Hall as well?
Yeah, that's page 103.
Okay. So what does the property owner need to do to finally bring the property into compliance?
The property owner would just need his contractor to obtain an after-the-fact permit. We would need to issue the after-the-fact permit. It can't just be an application. We need to actually review and issue the permit.
All right. How much time do you think that will take to bring that property into compliance?
30 days.
And if it's not in compliance within 30 days, what would be the daily dollar amount of fine that the city would be seeking and why?
This was $250 a day because it is for rent and currently has tenants, I believe. So life safety for work done without a permit and having tenants.
All right. Thank you. I have no other questions. I would tender into evidence pages 83 through 103 of the agenda packet.
All right, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 83 through 103 in the agenda packet. Sir, what is your name?
My name's Harry Alchin.
All right. Okay, Mr. Alchin, as you've seen before you, I'm going to give you a chance in just a few minutes to tell me anything you want to tell me.
Yes.
Do you want to ask any questions of Mr. Mecco? Do you have any questions for him based on his testimony?
I'd like to clear up one thing. My contractor, he had a state certified inspector, and he came in and he told us exactly what needed to be done, and he followed up on it. Okay, and we called my contractor right before the meeting, and we're just finding out. He's just finding out today about this, okay? So we will be back up to get the after-the-fact permit, okay? I can guarantee you all the work was done within compliance. Just give you an example. We wanted to move the electrical outlets 4 feet high. And the inspector said, nope, keep them exactly the way they are. And we did. We kept everything the way it is. Okay? And just a little miscommunication. And my contractor, he's just finding out when I met with Connor just before the meeting.
All right, this sounds promising.
Okay.
Hold on just one second, sir. Mr. Trask, any other witnesses?
No
about
other
the city?
witnesses? No.
All right. Mr. Alton, anything else you want to tell me before I let Mr. Trask ask you any questions he wants to ask you?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Trask.
Sir, how much time do you think that you're going to need to get that building permit issued?
It depends on my contractor and your timeline. I'm not sure.
City is suggesting that you can get the permit within the next 30 days. Do you
Okay.
think you can do that?
I'm sure he will.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you. That's all the questions I
Okay.
have.
All right, sir, I don't have any questions. Again, it's great that you're taking proactive steps to do that. So just sit tight. Let me see if there's any members of the public that want to come forward. Are there any members of the public that have any knowledge about the alleged code violation at 223 148th Avenue East? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Mr. Trask, anything else on this one?
Ask that you find the property owner in violation of the cited code section, order that he come into compliance within 30 days, and enter a fine of $250 a day for every day the property remains in violation of the cited code section because of the life safety issue related to tenants being in the property.
All right. I do find, based upon the testimony of Mr. Mecco and the admissions of Mr. Alkin, that there is a violation here on the property. Sounds like 30 days is enough time for your contractor to get the permit issued. If you don't, then it'll be a $250 a day fine after that. Again, sir, if your contractor comes in and you need a little bit more time, then just make sure the city's aware of that and come back before me, okay? And then once everything's done, make sure the city does a final inspection to close this out, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Have a great day, sir. That concludes that hearing. All right. The next one I have someone here on is E, 25, case number CE 25-163 for the property located at 14076 North Bay Shore Drive. City ready to proceed on this one?
Yes, this case is going to be Connor Mecco. So Connor, if you could state your occupation, your job responsibilities again here at the city.
I'm Anthony Harper. I'm here for Anna Harper, my wife.
All right, sounds good. Hold on, just real sit tight, sir. What's going to happen is Mr. Mecco and the city are going to present their case. So just sit there and listen, and then you can ask questions of Mr. Mecco. And then after that, tell me anything you want to tell me, okay?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Trask.
All right, so Connor, again, your occupation and your job responsibilities here at the city.
Code compliance specialist and handling code cases for the city.
Are you familiar with this property that's located at 14076 North Bay Shore Drive?
Yes.
Is this code enforcement case coming before the special magistrate as a proactive case or complaint-driven?
I believe this was proactive.
Okay. Who owns this property and how do you know that?
Based on the Pinellas County property appraiser on page 104, Anna Harper.
All right. And is it also, ownership also reflected on the tax collector's printout on page 108?
Correct.
All right. What was the actual violation on this case?
So this one had a couple. This property was demolished post-storm, but the pool remained, and there's not a sufficient pool barrier protecting the pool, so it needed a pool barrier. There was leftover building debris still on the property. The silt fence had become debris as well on the property. The vegetation on the property had become overgrown. Plumbing was sticking out of the ground in certain areas. It did not meet the city's requirements for a proper demolition and removal of utilities. And there was standing water in the pool collecting algae and mosquitoes.
Okay. Did the city then issue a courtesy notice of violation?
Correct. On December 2nd of 2025, this is page 109.
When the courtesy notice was sent, did the city attach photographs to the letter?
Correct.
You could go through those photographs and starting at page 111 of the agenda packet.
So on page 111, this is the first picture showing the pool that remains after the demo, and you can clearly see the pool is, green now, algae growing in. It's a breeding ground for mosquitoes at this point. You can also see that the barrier isn't sufficient. The screen is completely ripped up. At this point, it would probably need a temporary, like, chain link fence or some form of fencing to protect the pool from the public.
Okay. And the next page, page 112, the photograph there?
So this shows slab and still, tile, and just post-demo. This still remained post-demo. Typically, this is debris at this point. Typically, a demolition, the whole foundation is removed and the property is graded and stabilized. At this point, you can clearly see that it isn't. You can also see that pool fencing in the background. There's just some snow fencing, which doesn't protect. You can also see some of that silt fence in the background, which is now falling apart.
All right. And the next photograph on page 113?
You can see more of that slab, that silt fencing, some of the plant debris, and you can see, piping that is still coming up out of the ground. That wasn't taken down. It doesn't even seem to be capped after the demolition.
All right. And then the photograph on page 114?
You can see the pool in this one, as well as the damaged screen enclosure that's no longer protecting it. And then in the back, you can see large amounts of vegetation and debris.
All right. Did the city get a response to this courtesy letter when it was sent?
I don't believe so. I did not receive anything.
All right. Did the city issue a notice of code violation then?
Yes, starting on page 115, December 16th, 2025.
All right. And what were the cited code sections in the notice of code violation?
So section 110-447 pertaining to the location and height of fences. This one specifically was for the swimming pool fence. Pool barriers need to have specific standards for their fencing because it's protecting a pool so that young children can't access the pool.
All right. And what was the next code section cited?
Section 14-69 for maintenance of the exterior. This included garbage, trash, refused debris, then brakes, projections, trip hazards, and then as well as number 7, the pool is now accumulating a breeding ground for mosquitoes or other insects, and water is not allowed to collect or stand on a private property to become a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
What was the time frame that the city was asking the property owner to get the property in compliance?
The follow-up date was December 30th of 2025.
Did the property come into compliance by that date?
No.
Is it in compliance as of today?
No.
All right. Did the city send that notice of code violation by regular mail or certified mail?
Certified mail on page 121.
All right, and could you explain the photograph on page 122?
Yes, it was not returned signed. It was returned to sender.
And what was the address the city used for the notices that were sent?
That 14076 North Bay Shore address.
And why was that? Why was that used?
That's the address that was listed on the property appraiser.
Okay. All right, so did the city eventually issue a statement of violation and a notice of hearing?
Correct.
And is that reflected starting at page 123 of the agenda packet?
Yes.
And how were these, how was the notice of hearing and the statement of violation issued?
These were sent by regular and certified mail, and they were also posted at City Hall and at the property.
Okay, did you take photographs of the posting at the property and City Hall?
Correct. Page 130 is the posting at the property. You can also still see the pool that's not fenced properly, and you can also still see that slab and some of that piping.
All right, and then page 131?
This is the posting at City Hall.
Did the city then issue an affidavit of service reflecting how the notices were sent?
Correct. That's starting on page 128.
So what is it that the property owner needs to do to get the property in compliance?
Excuse me. Well, they'd have to obtain a permit for some form of fencing for the pool barrier. The pool needs to be protected. The pool would also need to be maintained, so the water in the pool would need to be cleaned and maintained in the meantime, so as to not be a mosquito ground anymore. Also, any debris, vegetation, anything of that sort would need to be removed and maintained as well. The foundation itself, we had a demo permit for this property. It looks like this property was it was done by a private provider, so the private provider signed off on this. Unfortunately, it does not meet the city's requirements. So it may require a new demo permit to correctly remove and stabilize and demolish the foundation on the property.
All right, and how much time do you think is a reasonable time to bring the property into compliance?
30 days.
What if the property is not in compliance within 30 days? What is the daily amount of the fine that the city is seeking?
$100 a day.
All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions for Mr. Mecco. I would like to tender into evidence pages 104 through 131 of the agenda packet. Ask that it be received.
All right, I'll go ahead and receive into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 104 through 131 of the agenda packet. All right, sir, tell me your name again.
Anthony Harper,
All right, and Mr. Harper, what's your relationship to Anna Harper?
husband.
All right. Mr. Harper, as you've seen in these last couple of hearings, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me anything you want to tell me in just a moment. Are there any questions you want to ask Mr. Mecco based upon what he just testified to? And this is just for questions of Mr. Mecco.
Sure. These pictures are about a year old. We have fenced. We received a code violation from the Pinellas County Sheriff, and I met the deputy and showed him that we actually fenced the pool with a wire fence all around, and there's a new fence up front in the property. The property was clean because we had a gardener to take all the debris out, and so this looks much different. I certainly will do whatever the county requires.
Okay, well, just real quick, do you have any questions for Mr. Mecco before you tell me more about what you've done to clean up the property and fence the
When
pool?
was the last time someone was at the property?
So this picture actually shows June 25th, so only a couple weeks ago, showing this fencing is not appropriate for a pool barrier. I don't know what deputy was spoken to, but Florida Building Code and international property maintenance. I understand that our building official does not accept this snow fencing. Is that the fencing that I assume you're talking about?
No, there's a wire fence around the pool. It's not visible. I have a detailed picture.
Okay, so we would need the fence to be permitted and show that
Sure.
it meets the pool barrier requirements.
Absolutely.
So our building official would be able to sign off on it being an
Okay.
applicable
I'll definitely pull a
fence.
permit. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem.
All right. All right, hold on just one second, sir. Mr. Trask, are there any other witnesses the city would like to call?
No, thank you.
All right. Mr. Harper, continue telling me whatever you want to tell me. I
Yeah,
understand you've
the
done some
pool-
work.
Pool is covered with tarp now, so there's no water showing in the pool. The pool pump is not functional, obviously, but there's no power at the property. But the pool is covered. If I need to permanently cover the pool or with some type of wood structure, I'll do that. But right now, the pool is covered with tarp.
All right. Mr. Trask, any questions of Mr. Harper?
So, Mr. Harper, how much time do you think you're going to need to get all of the work done on the property? The city thinks you can get it all done within 30 days. It sounds to me like you think that most of it is already done.
Yes, sir.
So
I
you-
definitely pull the permit, so as soon as the permit is issued, I will put the fence into compliance, and
All right, so you think 30 days is sufficient then?
that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir, anything else you want to tell me right now?
No?
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. All right, are there any members of the public that want to come forward and provide any public comment on case number CE 25-163 for the property located at 14076 North Bay Shore Drive? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment. Mr. Trask, anything else from the city?
City would just ask that the special magistrate find violations in section 110-447 of the city code, as well as section 14-69. Order the property come into compliance within 30 days or suffer a $100 a day fine for every day the property remains in violation of the cited code sections.
All right, sounds good. Based upon the testimony that is provided, I will go ahead and find that the property is in violation. I'll give the property owner 30 days to bring the property into compliance, thereafter a $100 a day fine. Mr. Harper, the corrective action is what's set forth in the notice, and we'll set on the record here at the hearing today, so that's what my order will reflect. If you have any questions about whether the property is in compliance, again, I don't know who you talk to with Pinellas County, but that's the man right there who you need to talk to about whether or not
Okay.
your property is in compliance. So just make sure that once you do whatever work you're going to do, and you pull your permits and everything, just make sure you go back and circle back with Mr. Mecca, okay?
Thank you. I definitely will. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one that I have where someone is present, well, let me just make sure. Has anybody come in on CE 25-186 for 600 Flamingo Drive? Okay, let's move on to CE 26-22 for 500 Normandy Road. Is the city ready to proceed on that one?
We are.
All right, go ahead.
So the city would call Taylor Davis. Taylor, if you could state your occupation, your job responsibilities here at the city.
My name is Taylor. I am a permit and code compliance specialist here for the city of Madeira Beach. I enforce codes and city ordinances and ensure compliance.
Are you familiar with this property that's located at 500 Normandy Road?
Yes.
Is this case a proactive case or a complaint?
Proactive.
Okay. And who's the owner of this property?
Owner of this property, FLA Beach Blessings LLC and Advanta IRA Services LLC.
All right, how do you know that?
Property appraiser's office and the tax collector printout.
Are those reflected starting at page 184 through 190 of the agenda packet?
Sorry, switching mics here. Yes.
All right, and what's the code violation on this property?
Code code violation here was for 8652 on page 191.
And what is that for?
When required, there was no permit pulled for the remodel here after the storm.
Was this property flooded?
Yes.
Approximately how much water was in this property, this home?
This one received there was a 36-inch water line here at this property.
Okay. And how did the city determine that there was remodeling done at this property?
There was a business tax license applied for, and Lisa Sherman took me on the rental inspection inside.
Okay, and what did you determine was the remodeling that was done in the property?
There was new baseboards, new drywall, electrical was raised, new lower cabinets in both units, and I've got pictures of all of that. And new exterior doors and a window.
Okay. So did the city issue then a courtesy notice of code violation?
Yes.
And on what date did the city do that?
February 24th of this year.
Did the property come into compliance after the courtesy notice was sent?
No.
Okay. When that notice was sent, did you attach photographs?
Yes.
Can you explain what the photographs depict in each one, starting at page 193?
The 193, this one shows all of the debris piles from the interior stuff flooding. 194. Actually, I don't know. This window, I believe, was the new one. This door on page 195 is brand new.
Okay, do you have any pictures of the interior?
On my phone, not in the letters.
Okay.
This was sent out before the rental inspection was conducted.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about some other photographs in a moment, but first of all, did the city issue a notice of code violation then?
Yes.
And what date was that sent?
May 20th.
And did you cite the same code section?
I did.
And when was that notice? Was that notice sent by regular mail or certified mail?
This was certified.
Okay. And when the notice of code violation was sent, did you attach photographs to it?
Yes.
All right, and if you could turn to page 198 of the agenda packet and explain, starting at that photograph and then the following photographs, what they depict.
So inside one of the units here, I have electrical was raised, new drywall here, new baseboards, new interior doors. The hinges weren't rusted or anything. New door framings, new vanities in the bathrooms, new lower cabinets in the kitchens.
Okay. And you were the one that took those photographs?
True.
Okay. And you said that was sent by certified mail?
True.
And if you could turn to page 204 and tell me what that depicts.
The certified mail we sent back, or the certified mail we sent was returned back to us signed.
All right. Is the property in compliance as of today?
No,
Did the city issue a statement of violation or request for hearing?
we did.
And if you could go to page 205, is that the statement of violation?
Yes.
Did the city then also issue the notice of hearing starting at page 207?
Yes.
And how were those sent to the property owner?
These were sent regular, certified, posted at the property and downstairs here at City Hall.
All right, and did you take photographs of the posting of the property?
Yes.
You could turn to page 211. Is this the posting of the property?
Yes.
And at page 212, is that a photograph of the posting at City Hall?
Yes, downstairs.
All right, did you also issue an affidavit of service that reflect those notices being sent that way?
We did.
Starting at page 209?
True.
Okay. All right. So how much time do you think it'd take to bring this property into compliance by getting the permit?
30 days.
And what is the dollar amount of the daily fine that the city believes is appropriate based upon the violations?
If they can't get the permit issued, $250 a day.
And why the $250 a day?
It is tenant occupied. Both sides of the duplex have tenants.
Okay. All right, thank you. I have no other questions. I would tender into evidence at this time pages 184 through 212 of the agenda package asked that it be received.
All right, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 184 through 212 of the agenda packet. Hello, sir. What is your name and the relationship to
my
the
name-
owner of the property?
My name is Joe DeLoca, and I'm just representing the owner, Bill Harder.
Okay. And sir, are you a lawyer? Are you a contractor? You just
Yeah, he had approached us when he first got the code violation about getting a permit for him because he can't pull a permit because it's obviously a rental property.
Gotcha. So you're a contractor, sir?
Yes. And we
Okay.
told him we would. And he said he had a plumber and electrician that were able to sign on as subcontractors. Wait. They bailed on him. He found another guy, they wouldn't do it. So we brought our people on, and we went and inspected the property with the electrician and with the plumber. And they've agreed to do it. We've applied for a permit, so it is in the queue. Okay. So hopefully they get us information, they'll send an inspector out, tell us what they would like done to the property. Everything looks like it's been done properly. The plumber does want to do a few things. So once I call the plumber today and tell him that I was here, then now that brings up another question. Should the plumber do this stuff?
Well, hold on just one second. Normally, if there's a company represented by an LLC without an attorney, I don't let them cross-examine, but I'll give you a little latitude. If you have a legitimate building question, you want to ask Ms. Davis about that. I don't know if she can answer it, or she might need to research and get back to you on that, but you can
We don't want
ask
the
her
plumber
whatever
doing
questions you want to
anything
ask her.
until-
You have a specific question you'd like to ask Ms. Davis?
We'll do that after.
Okay, no problem. All right, is there anything else you'd like to tell me about the violation? And I know what Mr. Trask is going to ask first, so how many days do you need to pull that permit?
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a while. All I could do is apologize on Bill's behalf for taking so long. But it's really hard when you can't get subcontractors to agree to something. We can't just submit a permit application without having some contractors.
At this point, do you think you can do it in 30 days from today?
If they give us a permit, absolutely. We've already applied for the permit, so it's in the queue.
Mr. Trask,
Sir, I didn't
sorry if
get-
I stole your thunder there. Go ahead.
All right. I didn't get your last name.
My last name is DeLoca, DeLoca.
And what contractor do you work for?
I work with traditional remodeling.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
All right, sir, I don't have any questions either. Just sit tight, sir. Are there any members of the public that have any knowledge of the code enforcement violation at 500 Normandy Road that want to come forward? All right, seeing none, we'll close public comment. Mr. Trask, anything else on this one?
So we just asked that you find a violation of Section 8652, order the property to come into compliance within 30 days. And if it's not in compliance because these are rental properties, order a fine of $250 a day for every day the property remains in violation of the cited code section.
All right.
Thank you.
Based upon the testimony provided in the exhibits, I will go ahead and find the violation as it exists in the notice of violation. Sir, I'm going to give you 30 days to work with the owner to bring the property into compliance. I know you're sitting in the back. I just want to make sure you heard me. If you need more time because there's a holdup with this permit getting issued, please just let the city know you need to come back before me, and we'll talk about giving you more time, because I am going to find that it's a $250 a day fine. The reason I do that is the city doesn't know whether the electrical was done properly or something like that. When you've got renters coming into both units, it's a health, safety, and welfare issue. So I'm going to go ahead and find that you have 30 days to bring it in compliance, $250 a day fine. And maybe you heard this too, I'll say it again. Once you have the property in compliance, even if the city signs off on the permit, you still need to let Ms. Davis know so she can close out the code enforcement case, okay? All righty. All right, that concludes the hearing on this one.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, and Mr. Trask, I know there are two different addresses. Are they two different owners and everything? Are we treating these as one for the next two, or are we doing them combined?
We can combine them. It's the same testimony.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it's basically a building over two portions, two different lots with two different addresses.
Gotcha.
So-
And, sir, I know you're here. Come on forward. And do you have any objection to us doing both of these at one? Get you out of here a little faster? Okay, sounds good. Then we'll just accept the city's testimony as to both of them from the same witness, so we don't have to
Thank you.
recall Mr. Mecca or Ms. Davis twice. All right, so then we'll go ahead and call on the agenda. It's 5I, which is CE 26-33 for the property located at 12971 Pelican Lane. And we'll also go ahead and deal with CE 26-34 for 12959 Pelican Lane. Is the city ready to proceed?
Yes. City would call Taylor Davis to testify in this case. Taylor, if you could give us your occupation, your job responsibilities here at the city, please.
I'm the permit and code compliance specialist here. We enforce code violations and create code cases.
Okay, on these two properties, do they come to you as proactive or a complaint-driven case?
Proactive.
All right. Were these two properties, were they flooded during the
Yes.
storm? Approximately how much water was in these, on these properties?
For this one that we're on right now, 12971, I have 30 inches of water. And the one next door, I have 21 inches of water inside.
Okay. All right. Who's the owner of these two properties?
I have from Property Appraiser, Pelican Bay Apartments, and Marina LLC.
All right, and how do you know that?
Property Appraiser's office and the tax collector printout here.
Okay, so in the first case, we're going to starting at page 213, that's the property appraiser's records.
Yes.
And then on page 219 starts the tax collector's records, is that correct?
True.
All right, did the city, well, what was the actual code violation on these two properties?
They were cited for 8652, working without a permit, the remodel.
Okay, and did the city issue a courtesy notice of code violation on this, on the first case?
Yes, as reflected on page 220.
Okay, and if you could tell me whether or not there were photographs attached to the courtesy notice when it was sent?
I do have a few. These are from a rental listing site. Page 222 shows a new vanity, new walls. I've got appliances in here, new trim. Again, new walls, new trim. New walls, trim, interior doors in this one. And this just shows the front of the property.
Okay. After this letter was sent, did you hear from the property owner?
Yes, Mr. Phil came in. He is part of the LLC and talked to me back in March or April.
Okay. Did the property owner obtain a building permit for the work that was done?
No, sir.
Has there been a permit issued as of today?
Nope.
Okay. Has there been a permit applied for?
No.
Okay. When the city issued the notice of code violation starting at page 2025, did the city attach photographs to it?
The certified was also sent the same pictures.
Okay. And did you send that by certified mail or regular mail?
Certified for this one.
And was it signed for by the owner?
This one, we did get one back.
Page 231, is that the return?
True.
Did the city issue a statement of violation request for hearing for today?
Yes, page 232 shows that.
And the notice of hearing starting at page 234?
Correct.
How were they sent to the property owner?
These were sent regular, certified, posted at the property and here downstairs.
Or did you take photographs of the two postings?
Yes, we did. You can see both of them just side by side right here.
Okay, that's the posting of the property, correct? 238?
Yes, and then
And
239
on page
is
239 was the posting at City Hall?
true.
Okay. And did the city issue an affidavit of service reflecting how these were sent?
Yes,
And is that starting at page 236 of the agenda packet?
true.
Okay. Did the city also take additional photographs of the property?
Just the ones in the letter.
And I'm going to show you ones that were,
Those are from the interior demo that were submitted by Mr. Phil.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and submit these and ask you some questions about them. Sir, would you like a copy of this? This is what I'm going to be talking about.
All right, and while you're doing that, Mr. Trask, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 213 through 239 of the agenda packet. And give me 1 second to look at these. All right, I'll go ahead and accept in as exhibit number 2 what appears to be 3 photographs and some sort of project printout as exhibit 2.
All right, Ms. Davis, can you explain each one of these photographs to us so the special magistrate knows exactly? Are these photographs taken from the inside of this property we're talking about today?
Yes, true.
Okay. And what are each one of these photographs depict?
They mostly all show the same thing. The vinyl plank flooring is rippled and pieces floated off and kind of shifted around the room. And then there is a water line on the interior walls inside.
All right, and then this photograph kind of looks like kitchen sink?
Yes, kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, they are all essentially admitting to water intrusion,
Okay.
airing out, shelves missing.
All right. And I know that we're talking about this one particular property located at 12971, but your testimony is the same for the other property as well?
True.
Okay, is this 2 buildings on separate properties, 1 building over 2 properties? Can you
It's 3 buildings across 2 parcels.
Okay. So the exact same type work was done on both properties then, correct?
Since speaking to him, I guess 12959 has not been remodeled, just 12971.
Okay. So is the city moving forward then on 12959 Pelican Lane as a violation or not?
Violation for 8652, no.
Okay. Well, that's the only code violation on that 12959, correct?
True.
All right. So the city will withdraw then that case based upon the testimony that was given today.
All right, just so we're clear, that would be agenda item J 26-34 for the property located at 12959.
Correct.
True.
All right. Okay.
Okay, I have no other questions then for Ms. Davis. Well, actually, I didn't get to the time frame, did I? Did I ask you? How much time do you think it'll take to get this property in compliance?
I would say 30 days.
And the dollar amount of the daily fine would be how much and why?
$250 a day because they are definitely acting as nightly rentals. Tenant occupied for sure, life safety.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Sir, can you please state your name on the record and tell me your relationship to the LLC that owns the property?
Yes, my name is Timothy Brill, and I actually help manage the Cycles Affair, which is Pelican Bay Apartments and Marina. They are currently residents of Canada and can only come down so much time due to the new regime and stuff. And they're afraid of losing their residency in Canada, so they can only come so much. We were just aware of this. 26th, I think, is when Taylor put these out there. The letters were not received. It's kind of a weird situation. I think with the address, I'm talking to Miss Kathleen earlier, the address was sent to this, which there's one mailbox there, but it's never used. It's kind of like the post delivery people, they all know that like Phil lives at 511, which is where I live on 129. So somehow we never got it. So we got to this. So,
All right, well, hold on just 1 second. Tell me how you spell your last name.
B as in boy, R as in Rico, I, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.
Okay, so just like it sounds.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Brill, again, normally, if it's an LLC that owns it, I don't allow a lot of cross-examination because LLCs have to be represented by counsel. However, are there any specific questions you want to ask Ms. Davis about her testimony or anything she said? I'm going to give you a chance to keep telling me anything else you want to tell me and tell me how much time you think you need to bring the property into compliance. But any questions for her?
Not really. We had spoke before, And then Miss Kathleen, I mean, I do have a timeline that I would like to speak on.
Okay.
Just to show that in good faith that we were trying to do something all along.
Then let's do that in just
And it
one
was just
second.
miscommunication between, so, and if you don't mind if I can go on and.
Yeah, give me
Like I said,
one
I spoke
second.
with Taylor and Miss
Yeah,
Kathleen.
yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure there's no other witnesses on behalf of the city. All right. Give me your timeline. Tell me anything you want to share with me, anything you want to tell me. This is your opportunity.
Sure. So these pictures Mr. Cycli sent in. This is the property at 12959. This has not been touched. It still looks like this today. I can't remember if Ms. Kathleen toured this building or not. She came out on June 16th around noon and met with Rolando Escamilla from Classic Construction. And to go back up a little bit, when these pictures were sent in, this I think was kind of like a FEMA thing. And again, he's a little elderly and he gets confused sometimes on what he was doing. I think this was a 51 rule and he was trying to send these in to try to say, hey, you know, it's not really totally damaged. We can fix that property, which is totally separate from 12971. So this building is not being occupied in these pictures, these ones here. So whenever Taylor had Ms. Davis had spoke to Mr. Phil, we were in contact with Steel Panel Construction LLC and Mr. Jimmy Thompson that showed us a card saying that he was a Florida licensed contractor, but he wasn't a contractor. He was just a representative of him. And I don't want to put this in a bad way. He false represented a couple of neighbors of ours, and that's how we got, to him. And literally, we thought he was doing all this while Ms. Taylor was speaking to Mr. Cycli, and he kind of disappeared through the neighborhood. So then we started reaching out to other contractors. Showalter Construction said they would help, but they kind of fell through. And then we finally found Rolando with Classic Construction. And we met with Miss Kathleen on the 16th around noon. I toured the property with her. She said, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. And then we started the process going. We actually had the first initial, I guess, survey done. I was there for that one. The permits were not signed yet. From what I'm being told, there was an agreement this morning between the Cyclis, which owns the Pelican Apartment Marinas, and with Mr. Rolando from Classic Construction to get all the permits going. Like, we started doing what we're supposed to do. It's just he never applied for it. And I guess somewhere the agreement didn't get signed between those two, but what I'm being told this morning, the agreement's done. And actually, he just reached out to me while we were sitting here about more information of getting the permit started as soon as possible. So, but yes, the two apartments are totally different, 1259, and then this one, which has never been touched. That's
Okay.
12959.
And the only one going before me today is 12971.
Yes,
So
sir.
the city's withdrawn the second one, so we're just talking about 12971.
Yes.
All right, anything else you want to tell me before I turn it over to Mr. Trask to ask some questions?
No, just that the only thing on the work that was done, there was a reach out, from what I understand, I was there doing almost all of it. Pictures were taken of every step of the way. It was actually working with another contractor, did not pull a permit. We just didn't. I think they were confused about how to do the permit and everything else. Again, they're Canadian. They don't understand here too well. So that's why we tried to get back in compliant or whatever. So, but that's about all I have.
All right, Mr. Trask.
So on this property 12971, how many apartments are on that property?
12971 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so there's 6 units. Are all of them rented?
No, it's an Airbnb.
Can
They're
you step
not
up to
rented daily.
step up to the microphone so we
Oh,
hear
I'm
you?
sorry.
Yeah.
No, they're not rented like daily. It's an Airbnb, so it's not like a lease type deal.
Okay. So are all 6 of those apartments on that property, were they all remodeled?
No, there was one upstairs that was not touched
Okay.
because it didn't get flooded.
So 5 of the 6 were remodeled?
Yes.
Okay. So how much time do you think that your contractor needs then to pull the building permit?
I'm hoping I'm going to do it this week. So
30 days you think
well,
will work?
I would say 30 days because from what I understand, we have to have some like asbestos stuff done and some other things like a survey and stuff like that. Like I said, we started the very first one. That was, I think, around the 20th, I think, is when we started. And like I said, we met with Miss Kathleen. We kind of thought the ball was rolling, and I don't think Miss Davis knew that we were in talks with Miss Kathleen to get this stuff going. So that's how we ended up here today.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful.
All right, are there any members of the public that have knowledge about the code violation at 12971 Pelican Lane that want to come forward? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All right, Mr. Trask, anything else on this one?
I'd ask that you receive into evidence pages 213 through 239 of the agenda packet. Also ask that you find that there is a violation as admitted by Mr. Brill, that the property is in violation of section 8652. Order that it come into compliance within 30 days or suffer a $250 a day fine. There being 5 separate units that have been remodeled without a permit.
All right, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as Exhibit 1, pages 213 through
239.
239. I'll go ahead and, since we've provided testimony, even though it might be a different unit, I'll still put in as Exhibit 2 the photographs that Ms. Davis testified to and that Mr. Brill referenced as well. We'll go ahead and find that 30 days is sufficient time to obtain the after-the-fact building permit and take the corrective action required. Because there's health, safety, and welfare issues, I'll do $250 a day fine after that. Mr. Brill, as you probably heard me say to others, if you get up against it on that 30-day time and you need more time, just let the city know that, and so they can come back before me and you can file a motion for an extension or something like that. And then I'll hear whatever evidence and testimony is there as to why the permit hasn't been issued. And as long as you're making progress toward getting that permit issued and the contractor's making progress, then typically I'll grant an extension of time so you can get that work done, get the permit issued, and be up back to 100%. Okay?
So my only question is, since we were working with Miss Kathleen first, and then I know Miss Davis was one that filed these, do we stay in contact with Miss Davis on this, or?
I would say certainly talk to Ms. Davis about the code enforcement issue. I don't know whether she handles the other issue with the permit, but she would handle the code enforcement. So once you get that permit issued, you will have to close it out with Ms. Davis.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Let's jump. Has anybody come in on CE 26-45 14902 North Bayshore Drive? All right. Let's jump to old business. CE 26-44 for the property located at 13406. And that's 6B on the agenda. Did I have that right, Mr. Trask?
That's
or should be
correct.
6A, I'm sorry, 6A on the agenda. And it's 26-44, right?
Correct.
All right. Give me 1 second, everybody. Let me just make sure I've got that portion of the agenda package out. All right, Mr. Trask, if I think I'm remembering this one correctly, it's one where there were 3 alleged violations. 2 of them had to do with not either registering or getting the property inspected locally. I think the landowner's position was that they had some sort of state license that was issued, and so I wanted to continue this today for all parties to give me any more information they wanted to on those particular violations, which were the 6233 and 14-130.4 violations is I think where we left off. But Mr. Trask, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of give me the opening on this and where we stand on this one.
So at the last special magistrate hearing, you made a finding that there was not sufficient enough evidence to find that there was a violation of section 86-52, which is the permit required. You also found that there was not sufficient enough evidence to find that there was a violation of section 86, let me get that right, 8652 was the first one, 6258 was the second one. You did find that there was a violation of section 62-33 dealing with the requirement for business tax receipt. And then as for section 14-130.4 license required, the question was whether or not there was a state preemption for that license requirement. The city is not moving forward on section 14-130.4, but we do have some statutes that may address the issue relative to the BTR requirement. There is a specific statute that I'd like to bring to your attention, and I've got a copy for Mr. Volpe if he would like to step forward. I'll provide him with a copy. Thank you. I got one more, sir. Before you go back over there, save you the trip. So I'm gonna pass down Florida statute 509.13 and Florida statute 509.271, and then I'll explain my thoughts on these. So there is a requirement under state statute that if you have 5 units or more, you're required to obtain a license through the state of Florida, and that license would be through the Division of Business and Professional Regulations. And how do we know that? Because if we look under definitions 509.013, it provides that a public lodging establishment is defined as include, and I'm looking at paragraph 4A, includes a transient public lodging establishment is defined in subparagraph 1, and a non-transient public lodging establishment is defined in subparagraph number 2. That's what we're talking about here, a non-transient public lodging establishment. And then also bring to your attention subparagraph 4B3, where the exemption is any place renting 4 rental units or less unless the rental units are advertised or held out to the public to be places that are regularly rented to transients. So that's where we're coming into play here. 5 units or more, it's governed by the state of Florida. 4 units or less are accepted out. So that's the requirement showing that he has to have a license under Chapter 509, which he does. He provided it to us last meeting. Then the question comes of whether or not that is total preemption to the state, to the city, as to whether or not the city could collect a business tax receipt, and it is not. Under Section 509.271, it's titled Prerequisite for Issuance of a Municipal or County Occupational License. And then that statute says the municipality or county may not issue an occupational license to any business coming under the provisions of this chapter until a license has been procured for such business from the division. So what is that telling us? It's telling us is before he can get a business tax receipt issued, he has to get the license from the state. He's got the license from the state. He doesn't have the license from the business tax receipt from the city of Madeira Beach. He's required pursuant to city code to have that. So that would put us in a position that you've already ruled on this. Section 6233, you found that there was a violation, but I just wanted to let you know that based upon these 2 statutes, that BTR is not preempted to the state of Florida. As for the other section, 14-130.4, the city is not going to move forward on that particular code provision. So I think that puts us in a position then that the case has come to its conclusion. You have made a ruling of no 8652, no violation of 6258. The city is withdrawing 14-130.4, but there is a violation of section 6233 because the property owner has failed to obtain a business tax receipt, which he testified to at the last meeting that he'd be happy to do that. He didn't know he had to do that, but he would be happy to do that, and that's what we're asking, that you find a violation of 62-33, order the property to come into compliance as requested at the previous hearing, which was in 30 days. And if it's not in compliance in 30 days, a $250 a day fine because these are rented units.
All right. Now, I don't know if Mr. Volpe is happy to get the business tax receipt. I think there was a concern, with the city inspecting it. But thank you, Mr. Trask. If I understand this correctly, if it's 5 units or more, then it has to have the state license issued. And under 509.271, the city can't issue it until you get something from the division, but there isn't anything in the statutes that preempts the local government from this business tax receipt or occupational license, right?
No, that's correct.
All right. And is the occupational license referenced in the statute the same as the local business tax receipt or permit that's referenced in 62-33, by definition or whatever, are they the same, essentially the same thing,
It
treated
is,
to be
it
the
is
same?
the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the city's position.
Okay. All right. We're here for a little bit of a legal argument on this, but I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to tell me whatever you want to tell me. If I understand the city's position, it's that because this is 5 units or more, you do need the Division of Hotels. I don't know if that's the right agency, but you do need the state license to operate, but that doesn't prohibit or preclude the city from asking or requiring that you have essentially a occupational license, a local business tax receipt. And so we've already kind of gone through all the facts and everything like that, but is there anything you want to share with me on this? Any legal points or anything else you want to share with me on this?
Yeah,
issue?
only one thing. I'm Vince Volpe. I'm one of the owners, and I'm the one that applied for the state DBPR non-transient license. We in the past we have had the tax receipt from the city of Madeira Beach about 2014, 2000, all the way up until 2015. We've had the same tax. Now, I came in to renew the tax one day, and that was my issue. I came in to renew the city's, it's a permit. It's called a business tax. When I came in to renew it, I showed them that I had the DBPR for having 5 or more units in there. They said, the clerk at the time told me, well, then you don't need the inspections. You qualify under the 5 or more. I says, yes, so I would like to purchase the tax receipt, which is their business license. She told me, you do not need one. This was the clerk from Madeira Beach at the time, Cheryl. Anyway, she told us we didn't need it. Ever since then, never had one. Always had the one from the state, though. The DBPR from the state I've had religiously. It comes due February every year for our jurisdiction, number 3. So every year it was replaced, and I've kept into compliance. They send me this, I don't know, I just got this from being posted at the property. This is the first since 2015 that I've heard of this. So that's why I wanted to come in and tell you. I would buy the city tax again if they would sell it to me. They won't sell me the city tax receipt. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to figure out, how do you give me the city tax receipt is what I'm asking for.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for that argument, because that was one of the reasons why I think I ruled in your favor on the delinquency, because I'm taking what you're saying at face value, and I don't have anybody from the city telling me, oh, no, that's not accurate. Mm-hmm. Mechanically, I take it, Mr. Trask, at this point with your guidance, guiding staff, that if they came in and applied for the business tax receipt, then it would go through the normal process, and there, that whatever impediment existed from the city clerk's prior interpretation, they would be able to, through your guidance to staff, go through the proper process at this point. The city would not refuse to issue it to them at this point.
That's correct, and especially when you enter an order finding that they have to have one.
Okay.
That's going to have a lot more weight. Okay.
All right. Mr. Volpe, anything else on this one?
I
Okay.
think that's it. Just tell me what to do next.
Sure.
That's what I'd like to know.
Sure. Here's what I'm going to do. And Mr. Trask, I'd like you to prepare the order so that you can put the legal analysis in on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and stick with my prior ruling and no violation of 82-52, no violation of 6258. Please recognize in the order and a finding of fact that the city's withdrawn violation for 14-130.4. I do find, based in how we got there, I understand what you're telling me, and so I'm going to give you 60 days to get the business tax receipt. It sounds, you will have a copy of my order. You can bring it in. You see the code enforcement staff sitting here. You can ask to talk to one of them. I think Ms. Davis, this was your case, right?
Correct.
Yes. So if you come in to try to get a business tax receipt and somebody tells you somewhere you can't get it, ask to see Ms. Davis, okay? And you show them my order. And if they have to, they'll get Mr. Trask on the phone or deal with it that way as well. Okay? The city's asking for $250 a day based upon the fact that you have the state license, and I recall in the last hearing that they came down and did what appeared to be an inspection of the property, and as I recall, it passed and didn't have any deficiencies. I'm only going to do a $100 a day fine, because it sounds like at least the state has inspected these units and doesn't find a health, safety, or welfare
Right, they
issue.
did a life safety.
Right, life safety issues. However, and I don't know, I see more witnesses coming up now. If that's an issue, then we need to bring that, we need to bring that up, Mr. Trask, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're
All
going to be making a ruling on that, I'd like to have Taylor Davis testify on that issue.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I want to make sure that I don't want to wake up tomorrow and read in the Tampa Bay Times that there was a fire at your unit and it's a major event. So we still got time. Go ahead, Mr. Trask.
So, Ms. Davis, did you have an opportunity to talk to the inspector that did the inspection of this property for the state of Florida?
I sure did.
Okay.
Last week I gave him a call.
Okay, and who was the person that you spoke to?
There's a phone number, I believe his name was Nicholas, the inspector on his license and the inspection report. I was told by him, I was asking because his notes were pretty vague and none of the checklist in that inspection report was filled out, but maybe one thing. So I called and I asked about it. He said he had no entry of any of the units. He only inspected the exterior and did not have any photographs either.
Okay, did he provide you with the lodging inspection report?
No.
Okay. Did he provide you with his notes as to what happened when he inspected the property?
No, those were from the owners when they were here last.
Okay. So, but he did not go into any one of the 5 apartments?
From the inspector's words, correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Volpe, do you have any questions for Ms. Davis about her testimony right there? You wanna ask her?
Did you ask him about his authority to go in either of those, any of those apartments?
I did not. I was just asking about his notes that were on the inspection report.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did. I asked him about that.
Okay. And what was his answer to you?
He has no authority to go in.
Okay.
He cannot go into private quarters, so that's the reason he did not inspect interiors.
Okay, I understand. All right, then I'm going to slightly tweak my ruling. It's very important to me that with the hurricane damage, and again, I don't know what work you did. I listened to all your testimony. It sounded like you guys have done as best you can in building this in a weatherproof manner and whatnot. But I am going to go ahead and say you got 60 days to have the business tax receipt issued or permit. I guess the local business tax receipt is what we're talking about here. Otherwise, it'll be a $250 a day fine. If, again, you get up against that deadline and there's a problem, the city won't issue the permit. The city won't issue the business tax receipt. Just guys come back and see me, okay? I'm here every month. All right, I think that concludes the hearing on 26-44. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. And if you need to stick around afterwards, I don't know if Ms. Davis is done for the day or not. She might have other code enforcement matters before me, but if you want to hang out, we're going to run through the other
We'll get in
ones.
this week and get it taken care of.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks so much.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks.
And Mr. Trask, you'll prepare the order for that one on me? Thanks.
Yes, so for the order.
Do you need me to put into evidence exhibit number 1, pages 297 through 322?
I think it was already received into evidence at the
Okay.
last case.
All right. Okay, now I think we're going back to 5C on the agenda. Does that sound correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, if the city's ready to proceed, I'm ready to proceed.
City would call Connor Mecco, please. Connor, are you, first of all, if you could state your occupation and your job responsibilities here at the city.
Code compliance specialist, and I handle code cases for the city.
Are you familiar with this property that's located at 120 146th Avenue East?
Correct.
Okay, and who's the owner of this property and how do you know that?
It's owned by Cadelco LLC, and that's on, I believe, page 51, starting on page 51 from the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, and then below that from the tax collector.
All right. In this property, is it a proactive case or is it complaint-driven?
This was proactive. However, we did also receive complaints from neighbors about the property.
Okay, so let's talk about the proactive aspect of this. What was the actual violation on the property?
This is 8652, so work without permit. We could see it was proactive because initially we found it, and you can see in the pictures attached to the courtesy letter, the exterior of the property, it looks like an exterior wall was filled in. There used to be like a wall unit or some form of air conditioning that was at grade, and it looks like that had been removed and filled in after the storm. After seeing that, a picture was obtained from outside looking through the window that appeared to evidence that work had been done in the unit.
Is this a property that was flooded during this hurricanes?
Correct.
Okay. And approximately how much water was inside this building?
Approximately 3 to 4 feet in this property.
Okay. So the courtesy letter, when it was sent, I realize that you said you attached some photographs. Can you go over the rest of the photographs and tell us, other than the air conditioner being removed from the front wall, for example, if you could turn to page 59 and explain what does this photograph show?
So page 59, that just shows the interior of the home. This was taken from outside through the window, through the front window. But you can obviously see, that there's a sink that had been removed leaning up against it. It looks like the drywall and everything still has been replaced. Interior door in the back looks like it's been replaced. The electric, work's been done on the electric. You can see the receptacle has been removed. So they've started to work when this picture was taken back in January.
Okay. And you sent that letter by regular mail?
Correct.
Okay. Did you follow up with a notice of code violation?
Yes. Sent a notice of violation. I believe this is on page 60 on February 18th of this year.
And how did you send that letter?
That was sent by certified mail.
Did you get a response to that letter?
Yes, I believe so. I sent 2 certified mailings to this one. It being an LLC, I sent it both to the property appraiser mailing address, that 11009 Ridgedale Road. I also sent it to the LLC's alternate mailing address, that 8409 Costabella Way. And I did receive a signed green card, and the property owner did come in after receiving the certified letter.
Okay. And when, if you could turn to page 72, is that a photograph, or photocopy rather, of the green card showing that the property owner had received the notice of code violation?
Correct.
Okay. And when the property owner came in, did he admit, or did they admit the violation?
Yes, he admitted. He said that him and his, I believe, I'm not entirely sure, I believe it was his ex-wife. It was a unit that neither one of them could work on. I believe they were going through a personal matter with the property. So it was of his opinion that he could not do any work to the property during that time. Since then, I have been, since taking this case, I recently got an email from him this past week saying that he's retained a licensed contractor and he plans on applying. He's currently out of the state though, so he wasn't able to come, but he did reach out this last week, and a contractor has pulled an application. It's not a complete application at the time, but he has reached out recently.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all good news, working towards compliance. But in the meantime, the city issued a statement of violation and issued a notice of hearing for today's hearing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Starting at page 73 and again at 75, those are those 2 notices?
Correct.
All right. And how did you send those to the property owner?
So those were sent by both regular and certified mail, and they were also posted at the city and at City Hall.
Okay, and you sent them to both addresses again?
Correct.
Okay. And when you posted it at City Hall, did you take a photograph?
Yes, that's on page 82, and page 81 is the posting at the property.
Okay. And did you prepare an affidavit of service that would reflect how the property owner received those notices?
Yes, that's on page 79.
Okay. All right. How much time do you think it will take for the property owner to get the building permit?
30 days.
And if it's not in compliance within 30 days, what is the dollar amount of the fine the city is seeking?
I believe $100 a day, because although it was redone, I have not seen any tenants. There was never a listing for the property, and after talking to the property owner, Mr. Kalman, he said that he doesn't use it as a rental property. He hasn't rented it since the storm or anything. He uses it mostly just as parking for when he goes to the beach. So I have no reason to believe that has any tenants living there.
All right, thank you. I would now tender into evidence pages 51 through 82 of the agenda packet and ask that it be received into evidence.
All right, we'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 51 through 82 of the agenda packet. All right, anybody here on behalf of the respondent, Caldeco LLC? Okay, seeing none. Any members of the public here in regard to this particular code violation? All right, seeing none. Mr. Mecca, great job. One of the things I was looking at was the notice, and you did an excellent job sending it to the registry agent, and hopefully that spurred him into action. I don't know whether it was an old stale address or maybe it's soon to be, sounds like his ex-wife's address there for the other one, but good job on tracking that down. So I do find there, Mr. Trask, anything else on this one? All right. I do find that there are violations set forth in the notice of hearing. The corrective action will be what's stated in the notice of violation as well as what was stated on the record today. The property will have 30 days, property owner will have 30 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter will be a $100 a day fine.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one that I have is item 5F. CE 25-186 for the property located at 600 Flamingo Drive. Is the city ready to proceed?
The answer is yes, but I was handed during the meeting an email exchange between the city and the property owner that the property owner requested a continuance and the city had no objection to the continuance until August 24th. And so I guess we're asking for a order of continuance on this case.
Okay, I'll go ahead and enter an order continuing the the hearing until August 24th, 2026. All right, I think that then takes us to item 5K, case number CE 26-45 for the property located at 14902 North Bayshore Drive.
Yes, and the city would call Taylor Davis. Taylor, again, your occupation, your job responsibilities here at the city, please.
I'm a permit and code compliance specialist. I enforce ordinances and city codes and ensure compliance.
Are you familiar with this property that is located at 14902 North Bayshore Drive?
Yes, sir.
Is this a proactive case or was it complaint driven?
This is proactive.
And what was the violation on this property?
This one was 8652, work without a permit, and compliance required 6233, no business tax license to conduct rental action. And I also put 14-130.4 license required as well.
Okay, who owns this property and how do you know it?
This is Miss Jean L. Shivington, according to the Pinellas County Property Appraiser's Office.
Okay, did you also verify that through the tax collector's office?
Yes, on page 271 reflects that.
Once it was determined that there was a violation on this property, first of all, was this property flooded?
Yes.
Okay, and how much water was in this property when it was flooded from the hurricanes?
This one received 42 inches inside.
Oh. Okay. When you issued the courtesy notice of violation, did you attach to it photographs?
Yes, that starts on page 274.
All right. Where did you obtain these photographs starting at page 274?
A rental listing website.
Okay, and so if you could tell us what each one of these photographs depict and why it's a violation of the city code?
Yes, this one's got new flooring, new walls, new trim. You can start to see kind of some of the cabinetry here. And here again, new doors, new cabinets again, new countertop, appliances, new doors again, trim, drywall. And this was the, from the listing.
Okay, when you sent the courtesy letter, I know that you've already mentioned the code sections that were in violation. Did you get a response to the courtesy letter that had those code violations listed?
The property owner came in back in March, and the letter was sent out March 4th, and the first we saw of her was March 9th.
Okay, and did she admit the violation of the property?
Yes.
Did she give you any idea what she's going to do to bring the property into compliance?
She tried pulling a permit as owner builder herself, but being that it's a rental property, Connor and I informed her that she couldn't do it, so we were telling her basically what she needs to do in order to get one issued from the city. So that's what I believe she was working on. I just have not seen anything from her since.
Okay. All right, when you sent the notice of code violation, did you send it by, well, let's find the notice of code violation first. If you could turn to page 279. Is this a copy of the notice of code violation that was sent?
Yes,
Did you attach the same photographs to that notice as you did the previous notice?
I did.
Okay. Did you also issue a statement of violation and a request for hearing for today's hearing?
I did.
You could turn to page 287. Is that the statement?
That is the statement of violation.
And the
Yes.
notice of hearing at 289?
Correct.
Okay. How did you send those two notices to the property owner?
Those were sent via certified mail, regular, posted at the property and downstairs here at City Hall.
And did you take photographs then of the posting of the property in the city hall?
We did on page 295, you see them.
So 295 was the property, 296 was city hall?
True.
Did you issue an affidavit of service reflecting how you sent those notices to the property owner?
Yes, page 293 shows that.
All right. How much time do you think it's going to take to bring this property into compliance?
30 days.
And if it's not in compliance, what do you think the dollar amount of the fine should be?
$250 a day. One of the sides of the duplex is tenant occupied.
All right, thank you. I have no other questions. I would tender into evidence pages 268 to 296 of the agenda package.
All right, I'll go ahead and accept into evidence as exhibit number 1, pages 268 through 296 of the agenda packet. All right, is the respondent here? Anybody on behalf of the property owner here? All right, any members of the public that want to come forward and provide public comment in regard to the violation at 14902 North Bayshore Drive? Ms. Davis, I just have one question for you. How did you determine the amount of water? Is that something that you guys, like, somebody did a study or something like that, or did you physically go out there and see a water line and measure it?
Yeah, the county hired this company, third party, to go around and basically check water lines at every single property that would have sustained flood damage. So we all have that.
Okay. I have no further questions. Mr. Trask, you have anything to follow up on that?
No, sir, thank
All
you.
right. Anything in closing?
No.
All right, I'll go ahead and find the property in violation. The property owner will have 30 days to go ahead and provide, bring the property back into compliance. Thereafter, a $250 a day fine. Is the address, because I just see the mailing address and the site address is the same. Are you communicating with the property owner at that 14902? Is that a good mailing address?
Yes, she lives in one of the units. She's, I believe, just out of town
Okay.
right now.
No problem. I just want to make sure that my order got through to her so
Yeah,
she
go
could
ahead.
get done what she needs to get done. Okay. All right. I think that ends all of our new business. Did I miss anything on the agenda under 5?
No.
Okay. Looks like we've got a few affidavits of compliance, so let's move on to 6B on the agenda, case number CE 25-137 for the property located at 913 Bay Point Drive.
So this is the sailboat case, sailboat in the backyard. Special Magistrate made a ruling on April 14th, 2026, to bring the property into compliance by June the 4th. The property did come into compliance on June the 4th. Did I get that right? Let me just double check. Check my notes. It had to come into compliance by June 5th, and it came into compliance on June 4th. So it came into compliance timely. And Mr. Mecco issued an affidavit of compliance reflecting that it was in compliance timely, and asked that you accept the affidavit of compliance.
Yes, one of the more unusual cases that I recall us having together here, Mr. Trask, but that's great. I'm glad the property owners brought the property into compliance. I'll go ahead and accept Mr. Mecco's affidavit that the property came into compliance as of June 4th, 2026, and I'll go ahead and issue an order of compliance as of that date.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one I have is CE 24-254, the property located at 433 Boca Ciega Drive.
So a special magistrate did enter an order finding the property in violation, ordered the property to come into compliance by May 28th. It came into compliance on May 11th. We're asking that you accept the affidavit of compliance that Mr. Mecco has provided.
I believe on this one, the date of the order was for the 28th of 2025. I believe it came into compliance on the 11th of 2026.
Oh, so it's an entire year. I didn't catch the year.
Mr. Mecco, you're
Thank you for catching that.
you're doing great today. I did not notice that either. So what's the city's position on this one then in regard to the?
So I ask that you find the property in compliance, establish the fine as of May 29, 2025, running through May 11, 2026.
And would somebody be willing to pull out their phone and figure out the number of days there and then do the math?
Are you doing that, Connor?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. 1 second.
And while you're doing that, is Shirley McFarlane here? Anybody on her behalf here?
Was this, how many dollars a day was this?
I see $250 per day. Paragraph 12 of my prior order.
I have it at $250 a day. It's $87,000.
And how many days was that, Mr. Mecco, if you still have it?
348.
Okay. Mr. Trask, you have any reason why I shouldn't put in my order a fine of $87,000 for the 348 days at $250 a day?
No, we would request that you do that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and enter that order. Anything else on this one?
No.
Good catch, Mr. Mecco. I was ready to move on and give him a free pass on that one if you hadn't said anything. Okay. The last one I have is 6D for the property located at 4th Street East. Is the city ready to proceed on this one?
Yes, this was a case that Deputy Snyder testified on. Special magistrate found a violation, ordered the property to come into compliance by February 26, 2026. It did come into compliance on April 2nd. Deputy Snyder issued his affidavit of compliance. It's in the packet. That reflects that the property was in violation for 36 days. The daily fine was $50 a day, a total fine of $1,800. We're asking that you enter the order finding it in compliance and ordering the fine of 36 days at $50 a day.
All right, is Mr. or Mrs. Antilovich here? All right, anybody here on behalf of the respondents? Okay, based upon the affidavit of compliance, I find the property is in compliance as of April 2nd, 2026. That meant that it was out of compliance for 36 days, or that meant that there was a fine that accrued for 36 days at $50 a day. And I'm going to accept Mr. Trask's mathematical computation that that's an $1,800 fine. I'll put that in my order. Anything else before me today?
No, thank you.
All right, everybody have a great rest of the week. That concludes